Hi everyone, and welcome to Weekly Tea with Nikki. Today I'm going to be discussing a topic about what kind of parent you are. Now, this particular video is really dedicated to the mom that is wanting to raise her children in a way to where they're going to be responsible adults. They're going to be able to fend for themselves when they flee the nest. Now, I've received so many comments regarding the chores that I give my children. This is one of the things that kind of prompted this topic here. And oh, somebody can't believe that I, have my kids pull weeds before school, or take out the trash, or unload the dishwasher, or anything like that. There's somebody who doesn't believe that you should be doing things the way that you're doing them. Do what you know to be right for your child. For work purposes, for just, within the family unit, what it is you're trying to do, even if it doesn't seem to be working at the moment, to stick with it. If somebody has something negative to say about it, it doesn't matter. Just keep going with it if you know that this is the way that you want to raise your child. So, for instance, I wanted to discuss this whole chore issue. Back when more children lived on farms, there was so much expected of these children, what it was that they would do in the morning before they even went to school. They had to be up by a certain time, get so many chores done, eat breakfast, and get themselves to school. They had to walk too. So I don't think that it is beyond, comprehension that I would expect my child to take out the trash before they leave for school in the morning, or do a simple chore early in the morning before they leave. My goal is to raise children to know how to do things for themselves before they leave the nest here. I want them to be helpful here. I want them to learn how important it is to, just a household, to have everybody doing their part, so that number one, they're more grateful about things, and number two, they just know how to pull their own weight. As you can see on my channel, I like to have my children helping with things. I like to show them what to do in this area. After dinner, I like to have everybody load their dish. I am constantly on them about this kind of thing. It still feels like they don't get it. When a child is very young, maybe 2, it's time for them to learn to use the bathroom. The goal is that you're there for a little while to show them, to teach them, but you want them to be able to do that on their own. And it doesn't take 18 years for them to learn to do it on their own. We have stages of things. So children are in a stage where they are going to learn how to do something. And you need to be very understanding of that stage. You're not going to be perfect at it, and they're going to need some guidance. But then they graduate that stage, and they move on to not having to have you do it for them. They're doing it, and you may be right there, making sure that it's done properly. And then you get to the stage where they're closing the door and they are taking care of business by themselves. And that is the goal. And you don't stay in the stage of them needing you there every second when they're in the bathroom. That a lot of times as mothers, we get stuck in this stage of the baby stage where we feel it's our job to do all of these different things for our children, to constantly pick up after them, to constantly not expect different things of them, and to feel like, oh, well, it's too much for them. They're so little still. Children are capable of so much. Now, while I've also done a video about our perspective on things, that does not mean that I'm saying this is how you should feel about it and always cleaning up after your child. No, that wasn't the intent behind that. It was more just to kind of control our feelings in a certain way at times, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be teaching our children. I want to see growth with my family. I expect that growth with my family, just as I expected that growth with the child when they were learning to use the bathroom. But I just wanted you to know that you have somebody here that is encouraging you to stick with it, to keep teaching your children this, to keep being that example for your husband, that we are doing things a certain way so that we can graduate different stages in our lives, so that we can do other things that we want to do. So I hope that this was helpful. I hope that it was an encouragement for you, especially if you're a mother with younger children and you're feeling that pressure of not having them do things because that's your job, is what a lot of people would like to say, or they would call me lazy for having my children do jobs. I consider a parent to be lazy if they are not instructing their children in these things. That is the only form of laziness, if you ask me, because it takes so much work to teach your children to do these things. It is not easy, and it is something that requires so much of your time, your effort, and it is one of the most rewarding things that you can do, because you don't want to be having that child that is 30 years old calling you to come and to do their dishes and to do their laundry because you failed to teach them how to do so. So thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, I hope that you all take care and have a beautiful day. Bye everyone.